What was it like for you, and what does it mean for you to be a part of getting the Confederate flag banished from NASCAR?
Yeah, it was a big process for sure. And I know about 4 or 5 years ago they had talked about removing the flag, and this is when I was kind of first getting into NASCAR and kind of understanding my position and role and just kind of getting my feet underneath me. And so I didn't take a huge stance on it like I have today or now. And out of the conversations that I've read of people attending races, attending NASCAR events, they said they enjoyed their time, but one thing that really stuck out to them and made them feel uncomfortable was the Confederate flag being shown and flown proudly, and that bothered people. And I'm just simply saying, like, if people don't want to come back, we're trying to create diverse backgrounds or audiences and have inclusion and unity. Then let's just simply remove something from the NASCAR events, from their property, and allow people to feel comfortable being there, feel comfortable being in their own skin. And we're not saying you have to get rid of them in personal life. You do whatever you want. But when it comes to NASCAR, we own the rights to all that. NASCAR owns the rights to all of that, and they can control the message there. So I appreciate them stepping in behind me and the comments that I said with Don Lemons there on CNN. That was big. So seeing the course of action fall through was good. Follow through.
How's the reaction you've been receiving felt so far?
It's been good. It's been positive. There's obviously the negative people out there that don't want to take the time to understand the message that we're trying to push across. It's the All Lives Matter people that don't want to hear the Black Lives Matter movement. And it's as simple as putting the word or the letters TOO on the end of that hashtag. Black Lives Matter too. We never said Black Lives only matter. We never said that was the only race that matter. We're trying to bring awareness that, hey, we want equality in this world. We are treated differently because of the color of our skin. But people don't want to take the time to listen to that. They wanted to parallel it with lootings and riots and the mass destruction that's going on, and that's just not what we're trying to get across. So, but on the other side of that, it's been really positive outreach. I've gained a lot of respect for fellow competitors and received a lot of positive impact from big icons and whatnot. But that's not what it's about. It's about pushing the message together. So I think we're doing that.
Bob, I looked at the replies to NASCAR's tweet, and at first I wish I didn't because it was so upsetting. But I also saw a lot of people coming forward and saying, hey, I've never watched NASCAR before. Maybe now I will. Do you think this will help the sport grow going forward, not only for fans, but also potentially for other drivers?
Yeah, I wish we could figure out why we are programmed to read the negative backlash. That's all we focus in on. I sit there before these interviews. I'm just sitting there scrolling, looking at what's being said from the negative side of things. I don't know why we're programmed like that, but you're right. The comments that have been out there saying, like, I've never watched NASCAR, or I've never wanted to because of certain things, but now I'm going to. That's what we need. And I've talked to Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR, about that before going into Martinsville. We had a lot of first-time viewers for that race, and I imagine that's going to keep growing as we go. And that's exactly what we've been pushing for so long, for a new demographic to come in, a new crop of fans. I'm seeing a ton of outreach being poured into NASCAR right now on a positive side of things. So it's special for the sport. It's moving the needle, and I'm proud to be kind of leading that front.
Yeah, we're celebrating NASCAR right now because of them banning the Confederate flag on their grounds. But I think we all agree that's something that should have happened a while ago. So are there other steps that you're looking to take or looking to push NASCAR to address the welcoming of other races and address issues of race within NASCAR?
Yeah, for sure. NASCAR, despite the what am I trying to say? The underlying tones that have kind of been there, the stigma that's kind of been there. NASCAR's had open arms for a really long time of all demographics, all races, all walks of life to come to their sport. But I think with the movement that we're putting together now, absolutely allows that and creates that door to open. Marty Smith said earlier, I read it, and it was powerful. To the fans that don't agree with banning the flag, we're not shutting the door on you. We're opening the doors to so many others. And that's exactly what NASCAR wants. We want more people to be a part of this. Bring in fans when fans are allowed, obviously, but create a new fan base for us and keep going. So the next steps, we are trying to figure that out. We're actually on a call with a couple of us drivers and key leadership with NASCAR on Tuesday. So we're excited about that. I'm excited about that to see what kind of next steps will be in place.
What would you like to see or hear from your fellow drivers when it comes to this cause?
Yeah, I think I've always said the more vocal we can be on this matter, and I understand some of the silence from drivers and how it's tough to speak on certain topics, and the sponsors drive that. They want to stay out of politics and stay out of these matters, but for the ones that have stood up and said something and are creating change in this sport, and they have to realize that they're not only creating change in the sport, they're impacting lives outside of the sport as well. And that's so important with the message we're trying to push across, to listen and learn and understand our brothers and sisters and help those that are in need. So it's a tough sport. It's a tough position to be in because, like I said, sponsors, you're representing so many more people than just yourself. It doesn't matter if you put in your caption or in your bio on Twitter that your opinions are your own and they don't represent anything. No, you represent so many more people. You represent your family, your fans, your sponsors, your partners, your race team. So there's a lot of people that I represent, but you align yourself with the right people and the people that value you the same core values that you do.